Good morning, friends. Welcome to my channel. Let's be human first. Discover the human in you. Friends, my today's topic is going to be very, very interesting, and I hope you will definitely like this topic because this is a topic which will help you understand whether you want to focus on your improvement in life or you want to really want to get into proving yourself. So, do you want to prove or do you want to improve? Choice is yours. So, friends, I have actually made some, a very small presentation on this with certain specified examples and quotes which will tell you whether what is the difference between exactly proving yourself or improving yourself. So without any further ado, let me directly jump to my presentation, which I believe you will like it for sure. So here is the presentation, friends. Yeah, I hope my presentation is quite visible to all of you. Let me try to magnify it as much as I can so that you should be able to see the maximum, version of it. Yeah. So my focus on today's presentation is: do you really work on proving yourself or you work on improving yourself? There are certain keys, there are certain features, there are certain tactics which I would like to share with you, which will help you focusing on your gradual improvement rather than focusing on proving yourself. Because I believe as a human being, if we focus on improving or the improvement over a period of time rather than focusing on proving ourselves, I believe we will be able to uh, come out or emerge a new version of yourself. So my question to you is: do you believe in matbhed or manbhed? So, let me tell you what is the difference between matbhed. Matbhed is basically misunderstanding, and manbhed is basically, kind of understanding. So, we will have to focus on always rectifying the misunderstandings, if any, existing between any relationship. Because if we focus on, differentials, or if we focus on the misunderstandings, possibility for us to, uh, creating more void in our relationship is going to be very, very high. So you will have to focus on matbhed rather than manbhed. Yeah, I'm sorry, you will have to focus on manbhed rather than matbhed. Yeah. So how do you define greatness? For greatness, I believe greatness doesn't mean you don't fail. Greatness means you fail but you never give up. This is what greatness means. Because a great person, to me, the definition of being great is not that you are always a winner, you are not at all failing. That will definitely make you a winner. But to be a great person, I believe you even if you fail, but if you don't give up, and with every fail you get to have certain kind of learnings, and you fail forward, that will define you as a greatest, or that will define you as a greatest human being. Yeah. So greatness doesn't mean you don't fail. You 100% fail but you never give up. That is what greatness means. Okay. So do you want to suffer or suffer? Now, if you see, there is a suffer of English, which means you are in trouble. But if you see that same suffer in Hindi, it is a kind of travel. So you want to suffer or you want to suffer? Choice is your. Okay. So let me show you a small video clip which will endorse what I'm trying to tell you, which will further endorse the fact that for you to uh, what do you say, discover your new version of yourself, you will have to focus on your continuous improvement, and you will have to focus on how do you gradually improve on your weaknesses. So here is a video, have a look at it, and then I'll extend my video further.
Michael Jordan said in one of his interviews, he said, "You're unbelievable. You're the greatest basketball player of all times." Tell me about that. And he says, "Well, you just mentioned the successes." But he says, "For me to become the greatest basketball player, I missed 9,000 shots when I was playing basketball at the NBA games." Does it make him a failure? No. We all fail. It's okay. What is not okay is that when you fail, you stay down. Whoever stays down is a loser. And winners will fail and get up. Fail and get up. Fail and get up. You always get up. That is a winner. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at some point. I cannot accept not trying. It is your losses that will humble you. It is your losses that will give you a drive. It is your losses that will allow you not to make the same mistake over and over again. You are not your past. You can't be mad when somebody's pursuing the crisis that you're running from. You ain't mad about that, but you mad about the reward because you knew it should have been yours. That was your reward, but because you was afraid to do the work, because you were afraid of the crisis, now somebody else got your reward. Stop running from it and run to it. Stop telling me what you're going through. The greats, they get to it, they go through it. And the harder it is, the better. If you lose your job, if you go through a divorce, if you're coming back from addiction, if you're coming back from failure after failure after failure, and disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, you must know within yourself there must be a deep inner knowing of your true identity. You've got to know you are a winner, you were born to win. It is your right to win. It is your right to have your dream. You don't get these ideas unless you also have the capacity to make it happen. Give yourself a fighting chance. Whatever you go after, whatever you say, if this is your stuff, pursue it passionately. Let there be a deep hunger in you that you won't be denied. And that when things happen, that they won't immobilize you, they won't deplete your energy. Something as powerful as you cannot be contained and stopped. Temporarily delayed, yes. Stop, no. You gotta learn how to take your pain and let your pain push you to greatness. You gotta learn how not to give up or how not to give in. And you gotta understand that greatness is within you and you gotta pull it out. You gotta climb every mountain. You gotta pick up all the weight. You gotta climb, you got to, but whatever you do, you cannot give up. You cannot give in. And if you give up and give in, you will never experience greatness. So keep going. Nobody ever said it would be easy. But I know greatness is within you and you got what it takes. So get up and let's make it happen.
So, friends, the gist of this whole video is that you need not to focus on how many times you are falling. You will have to just focus on that how strongly you get up. That is the message which we have to carry on to be a great human being. Let me give you an example personification of four tires of life. Life is like a car, right? And there are four tires of this car. One is family, another is social life, third is hobby, and fourth is your professional life. Now, my dear friends, this is basically a car which is going to be stabilized if there's a balance between these four tires which you have. Like for example, if you have 30 pounds of air in one tire and 20 pounds of air in another tire, 40 pounds of air in another tire, and 50 pounds of air in another tire, do you think this car of life will move comfortably? No, it will keep on bumping. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you'll always focus on giving a great balance all the four tires of the life, because until unless you don't focus on balancing the four tires of the life, your life car is not going to run in a way that you are actually expecting. So to change your dasha, change your disha, that is direction. That is what you have to have. So it's not the color of the balloon that takes it up, but it's the content in the balloon that takes it up. So I'll give you an example. There's a small story. There was a black child who was actually moving next to a beach. He saw a person holding a lot of balloons, and these balloons were helium balloons. So he went to that particular fellow and asked that, I really wanted to have one balloon, but I want a black color balloon. Can you black color balloon? Can it go to the sky, or can it fly? So do you know what is the reply that balloon fellow gave to that child? Balloon fellow told him that, my dear friend, it is not the color of the balloon which matters. What matters is the air. What matters is the helium gas inside it. So similarly, my dear child, color of a human body may or may not matter. What is going to matter is your soul. If your soul is good, your soul is great, you will fly high in your life. But if your soul is not sympathetic to others, if your soul is not something which is called as philanthropic in nature, you might not be a great successful person in life. So what next I would like to focus on is life is kind of journey. It is like, traveling from B to D, that is birth to death. What comes between this B to D is C, that is choice. So birth, Almighty is going to decide, death, Almighty is going to decide, but He has given a very long way for us to decide on that C part of it. What is that C? That C is the choice in life. How do you want to transform yourself? How do you want to, establish your equity in the society? It all depends upon you, and it is all your choice. So Almighty says that I have given you birth as a human being, and I will take care of your death as well. But I will give you a C part of it, which is between B and D, that is choice, and for which I will have no role to play. You only will have to focus on that C part of it. So, friends, this C part is so very important for us to get going in life. Now, let me tell you, no one was born great. Even Sachin Tendulkar didn't hit six while taking birth. Have you heard, Sachin Tendulkar coming out and starting hitting six? No, he practiced, and today what you see is a person behind which there is a lot of dedication, there's a lot of effort, there's a lot of commitment which has gone in order to make that Sachin which we see today. Similarly, Arijit Singh didn't take birth singing tum hi hona when he took a birth. Arijit Singh practiced a lot in terms of, focusing on the different notes and all those things to make himself a great singer. So it is always your choice. How do you take the challenges as, and how do you design your life? Yeah. So being a male is a matter of birth, but being a man is a matter of age. But being a gentleman is a matter of choice. See how great it is. It says that you will be male or female. It is just a matter of birth. And you will be a man when you will be, aging. So it is a matter of age. But being a gentleman is not at all a matter of birth or age. It is a matter of choice. So you would like to make yourself gentleman. You would like to perceive yourself in the society as a great human being. You will like to perceive, perceived as a person who is highly contributing to the society. It is all about your choice. So my dear friends, birth and age is just a factor which is not in your control. What is in your control is how do you design yourself, how do you develop yourself and transform yourself as a gentleman. That is going to matter, and this is all going to be your choice. So similarly, it is like being a female is a matter of birth, being a woman is a matter of age, but being a gentlewoman of choice. The same, analogy applies to this as well, wherein I have told about being a male is a matter of birth. Similarly, being a female is a matter of birth. Similarly, you would be transforming yourself from child to infant to child to adolescent to teen to woman. So that is how your age is processing. This is all about age and birth, which is not in your control. What is in your control is how do you design yourself, how do you emerge as a person who is contributing to the society. So I'll give you one example, my dear friends. Once Swami Vivekanand, he went to England, and one guy came to him and asked him why he didn't dress like a gentleman. It was so confusing and shocking for Swami Vivekanand to hear that why is he questioning my dressing style. So you will be very surprised to know that Swami Vivekanand, in response, what did he said? He said that for you it is the clothes which will make you gentleman, but to me it's the choice and the character that will make me gentleman. See how rationally and how wisely Swami Vivekanand responded to that particular fellow who said that what is the kind of clothing you are wearing. He questioned the clothing of Swami Vivekanand, but Swami Vivekanand, with his wisdom, with his great acumen, he specified that clothes have nothing to do to make you gentleman, but what is going to make you gentleman and a great human being is the character, is the attitude, is the behavior which you reflect in the society, and it all comes with a factor which is called as choice. So that is the reply, and that is the response Swami Vivekanand gave. Now, as per you, what percentage of your success in field contributes to our strategy, development program, meeting, training, and many more? This is the question which is asked by many of the leaders, many of the managers and the senior people in any organization to the team members. And what is that question? This is the question that, as per the sales representatives, what percentage of their success in field contributes to the strategy given by the company, or the development programs, or the meetings, or training, and many more. So here is the question: do you think it is 10%, 20%, 30%, or so on? You will be very astonished, you will be very surprised to see the answer. But the fact is, it is success is 90% mindset plus 10% of strategy and other things. Do you know what it means? It says that many people behind their success or failure, they always say that the strategy was good or strategy was bad. If they are successful, they will say strategy was good. If they are failure, they will say strategy was bad. My dear friend, this is not what I am saying. This is the statistics which has been declared by some of the studies done by the great management institute of the globe. They said that behind the success of any salesperson, it is not at all the strategy which will make him a successful or a failure in life. What will make him successful is the 90% mindset, and only 10% strategy and other collateral things which are going to support him meeting his strategic targets is something which is going to matter. So what he's saying is that until unless you have a positive mindset, a mindset of a winner, you may or may not win. But strategy is something which may or may not help you win the game, but mindset is something which is the basic prerequisite for you to have to be a great winner in life. Now, when you say I do this, I do that, when you keep on focusing on I will reflect you as a ill person. So I is basically illness, and V is basically wellness. So when we focus on I, we tend to project as a ill person, because this I factor is full of ego, this I factor is full of individualism, it I factor is full of your own selfish gesture. Whereas when you talk about V, you're talking about not only the wellness of yourself, but you are also talking about the wellness of your colleagues, your team members. So always and always focus on V rather than I. Now, what is a great thing? Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Now listen and read this line again. What it is saying is, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, which means if you don't have evidence, doesn't mean that evidence is absent. Evidence is always going to be there, but it is not with you. So anubhava versus anubhuti, this is the difference which I would like to tell you. What is anubhava? Anubhava means experience. And what is anubhuti? Anubhuti is how I bring change in myself with the experience. So see how this defines. This is such a great, these two words are such a great words which I really appreciate and like. Anubhava is kind of experience which you get in your profession or in your life, whatever you're doing. But what is anubhuti? That is how you bring change in yourself with the experience that will matter. So many people, you will find, they will focus on their experience, that I have 20 years of experience, I have 25 years of experience, I have 30 years of experience. To me, experience is nothing but, for me, if you ask me, it is, if you are just focusing on experience, which means you have learned one thing for 1 year and you have repeated it 20 times. If you are portraying yourself as a 20 years focus, 20 years experienced person. So 20 years is like 1 year of experience repeated 20 times, if you have not focused on anubhuti. So anubhava is good, but what is more important along with anubhava is anubhuti. Anubhuti means while you are growing in your career, while your experience is increasing, while your experience is building, you should focus on the anubhuti part of it. What is the anubhuti part of it? That what is the kind of change you are bringing, you are yourself feeling while you are growing in your career. So I believe, very strongly believe, that experience is something which will make you great. But what will make you even super great is the kind of anubhuti which you will be getting while you are actually moving on this journey. So Anubhuti and Anubhava both are important, but what is more important is Anubhuti. Yeah. So you should be effective in your relationship with team and not try to be efficient. What it is saying is, when you are a great leader, when you are you are somebody who is managing the team, you should be focusing on building the effective relationship with the team rather than making them efficient. Because if your relationships are effective, of course they will put their best and they will automatically become efficient. If you just try to focus on your team, that you want to get efficiency out of the team without any developing any kind of rapport and a great good relationship with them, unfortunately you will tend to lose both. Neither you will be able to build a good relationship with them, as well as you may not be able to get maximum efficiency out of the team. So efficiency of the team is basically the outcome of the relationship which you effectively build with your team. I am repeating, efficiency of your team, whatever target you have given to your team, they will 100% be efficiently doing it, provided you should have effective relationship with the team. Because they will not work for the target, they will work for you if your rapport, if your relationship with them is good. So always you should be focusing on effectivity in building relationship with the team rather than focusing on what you want to get out of them, that is efficiency. So efficiency is basically the outcome of good relationship. The way it is said that sales is the outcome of what? Sales is the outcome of the efforts which you are putting into your job. Similarly, efficiency is the outcome of the relationship you build with your team. So you should be efficiently effective in your work. So what he has done is he has combined efficiency as well as effectivity in the work to make you a great human being. Why? Because efficiency and effectively is not 1 plus 1 2, they are 11. Because when you are effective in whatever you're doing, and possibly efficiency will be better, and when you're efficient in whatever you are doing, effectivity will be better. So which means what? They are actually complementing each other. So it is a kind of synergy they are working, that they are building while you're doing any kind of work. Okay. So every objective, every target, or even everything in this life originate from a thought. Why? Because thought is something which is the basic prerequisite for your action. Until and unless you don't have a thought in your mind, you will not behave, you will not act the way you should be behaving. So whatever you are doing and whatever is your behavior today, because this behavior has defined your habit and habit has defined your character. So whatever you are today is basically the outcome of your thoughts. Isn't it quite interesting? It is 100% very interesting, because it says that whatever is the personality I have, or people perceive me as Nitesh, or people perceive me as anybody, is only because of the thoughts which are emerging from me, and because those thoughts are letting me behave the way I should be behaving. So thought will design your behavior, these behavior will design your habits, and these habits will design your character, and this character will design your attitude. So what it further drills down to? It drills down to only one smallest part of it, that is thought. So if you focus on your thoughts well, the possibility for you to eventually behave well, perform good habits, be a good character man, and have a positive attitude in life is very very high if you have a positive thought. So whatever you are doing, always try to focus on your thought, that it should have creativity in it, it should have the angle of ethics, values, and it should have an angle of doing something better and improving every time you are doing whatever you are doing. Okay. So if you think you can, I think you can, and you're right. If you think you can't, you can't, and again you're right. Which means if you are thinking that you can do it, 100% you're right. And if you're thinking you can't do it, again you're right. Why? Because it is your thought. Your thought is saying you can do it, your thought is saying you can't do it. So similarly, if your thought is saying you can do it, which means you will behave as a winner. If your thought is saying you can't do it, you will behave as a loser. So similarly, if you think you can or if you think you can't, in both ways you are absolutely right. So let me now jump to, when your hands doesn't work properly for long, you say you are handicapped, isn't it? So if my hand is not working properly, if my leg is not working properly, if my any of the lymph is not working properly, what people will say to me, he is a handicapped person, isn't it? But when you don't work on your thoughts and ideas, what would you like to be called as? Such a interesting, such a fantastic thing it is, isn't it? I will repeat it. I'll go back. When your hands doesn't work properly for long, you and your colleagues and your people surrounding you will say that you are handicapped or you are behaving as a handicap. Why? Because your limbs are not working. But my dear friends, the question is, when your thoughts, ideas, and behavior is not working well, it is not working the way it should, what would you like to be called as? That is the biggest question I have for you. So you will have to focus on a person, an individual is not handicapped by his physical trait. To me, if you have your limbs are not working, if you are devoid of your limbs, to me you are not handicapped. But if you are devoid of your thoughts, if you are devoid of your ideas, if you are devoid of creativity, if you are devoid of positive thoughts and they are stagnant, you have negative thoughts, to me, then you are handicapped. So focus on your improvement, focus on continue to work for progress and not for completion of the task. What we are doing is basically most of the people in life, they are working to complete the task. They're not working in order to learn something out of it, that this is an ongoing process where I'm actually developing, focusing on my own development. Because to me, destiny, reaching to destiny, or going to the destiny, or holding on to that destiny, and boosting about the destiny, I've reached to the destiny, may or may not be good enough. But what is going to be very much important for me is the journey towards that destiny. So दोस्तों, हिंदी में कहते हैं कि प्रगति के लिए प्रयास करें, पूर्णता के लिए नहीं, which means always focus on your development rather than the completion of the task. Because if you focus on completion of the task, it is just going to be one another task. But if you focus on progressing and learning something out of that task, it is like development of yours along with the completion of the task. So it is a kind of win-win situation. So when you focus on just the completion of the task, you are going to remain where you are or where you were. But if you focus on completing the task with your focusing on your own development, because you ought to have a lot of experiences which might be as per your expectations or which might not be as per expectations. So you will have to focus on your development while you're moving on this path, rather than just ensuring that you complete this path. Again, I will repeat कि प्रगति के लिए प्रयास करें, पूर्णता के लिए नहीं. Yeah. So what is power of compounding in life, my dear friend? First of all, let me tell you what is power of compounding. Power of compounding is kind of, like for example, you invest your money into mutual funds, or you invest your money in share market. Okay. So you are investing this money, gradually you are investing this money on a regular interval of time, and you are ensuring that you sit on this money for a very long duration with continuous investment. You will not believe, my dear friends, the more number of years you will continue to hold this investment in your portfolio, or in your bank, or wherever it is, the better it is going to grow, the more growth you will going to have. So which means the power of compounding in life is something which will ensure that you grow significantly higher than the other people. So a reason to achieve goal is, what is that? Is why. This why is so very important for you to ask. Because I have been giving this example of Simon Sinek, which is a great author who has written a book called, Try to Find Out the Why of Anything. So when you are actually trying to focus on your goal, you will have to just ask one question, that why you want to achieve this goal. If you're focusing on this why part of it, I'm sure you will definitely get maximum thing out of it. There's a very good saying which says that mosquito versus elephant. Who is dangerous? If I ask you, who is dangerous, mosquito or elephant? Probably, you will give answer as per your wisdom. Okay. But to me, sometime mosquito is well enough to take away your life, because it can cause you dengue and other contagious illnesses. So it is not the size always which is going to define the effectivity or the commitment of that particular individual. It is the sheer venom inside that particular individual. It is like, elephant is quite big, but mosquito is very small, but it is, it is sufficient enough to kill a big human being. So it is not the size. And let me tell you, my dear friends, 1 degree is going to make a huge difference in your life. Now you will say how. So if you see, suppose I'll give you an example. You must have learned mathematics. If you plot a line on x-axis and bring a 1 degree change and make this line longer and longer, the more you stretch this x line, right, x-axis line, the 1 degree change is going to make a huge difference. How? So what is the key to success is go and fail. The more you fail, the more you grow. That is what is going to be there. So what you resist is going to persist. So what you step in, it dissipates and transform the fear to fun. So whatever you are resisting in your life, that this is what I can't do, is going to persist always, and it is going to trouble you. So I'll give you an example. It is kind of, that is called as ugly frog. So whatever you are trying to resist, what is this ugly frog? Ugly frog is basically the most difficult task which most of us try to resist. We always say that no, I will do this task, the last one, because this is the most difficult task. Rather, we should have done it other way around. We should have focused on the most ugliest part of, that is ugliest frog, and we should not resist in doing that. Otherwise, that ugliest task, ugliest frog is going to persist there only. So you will have to step in to dissipate that frog. So you will have to transform the fear to fun. Then only you will see that you are able to do your uh, jobs, your target at the maximum level. So where do you need to bring change? Inside or outside? Now let me give you an example of a chicken, a kind of egg. This small egg, if you bring in your home and if you try to break it from outside, what you will do, you will actually take away the life of the small chicken inside it. If you break this egg with a spoon or a knife, you are actually taking away the life of the chicken inside that egg. But if this egg itself breaks from within, there is a new life which has come out. What does it mean? It means that from outside, if you try to bring the change, you may or may not be able to discover the human in you. But if the same change happens from within, then you can always have a life coming to you. So it is the same story. Like when you try to break an egg from outside, you are taking the life of a small chicken inside it. But when that same chicken is breaking the egg from within, there's the emergence of that life. So what it means, it means that you should get self motivated from inside rather than getting motivation from outside, or rather than focusing that somebody will help me guiding, somebody will help me motivating. I do agree to this. All these things play a very significant role in your development. Motivation is absolutely required. Support is always required. But what is most important is how this motivation and support is actually influence you to actually bring a change from within. That is going to define a new life in you. Yeah. So the major question on the job is not what I am getting here. Most of the people, they say, I'm getting this, I'm getting that in the organization. The major question on the job is not what I am getting here. The major question is what I am becoming here. So my dear friends, if you are into any job, whether it is sales job or an office job or whatever kind of job it is, you will always say what I am getting here. But I rather would like to tell you that you should say other way around, that what I am becoming here. Because getting whatever you are getting in the organization is something, it is an outcome of whatever you are providing to the organization. Yeah. Because organization is expecting you to do certain kind of job, and that is how the organization is paying you. But my question is not that what I am getting here. My question is that you should focus on what I am becoming here. How you are transforming your life, how you are transforming yourself as an individual in the organization or wherever you are, is going to play a very crucial role, rather than focusing on what I'm getting here. So focus on what I'm becoming here rather than focus on what I'm getting here. I will show you a small video once again that will actually, give you a great way to further discover the human in you. Yeah. So let us go and have a look at it.
Jack Welch once said, "Change before you have to." How true that is. Championship leaders understand that in order to remain relevant and competitive, they must foster a culture that embraces change. When you think about the brands that have been around for 100 plus years, how they looked in the beginning is much different than how they look now. They changed. The brands they once competed with no longer exist. Why? They didn't change. Grace Hopper once said, "The most dangerous phrase in language is, 'We've always done it this way.' As the leader, you must relentlessly fight this mindset. Don't allow your team to focus on how things used to be, because used to be's don't make honey. Instead, focus on how things are gonna be. Gonna be's make honey. Gonna be's have a clear vision of the future and how they need to grow in order to become that better version of themselves. They understand constant growth requires constant change. Remember what John Maxwell once said: change is inevitable. Growth is optional." Close your eyes and visualize what things will look like in 3 years. How will you need to evolve in order to meet that vision and be a front runner in your space when the time comes? What changes do you need to make? Start making those changes now. As the leader, you have the remote. If you don't like the channel you're on, nobody can change it but you. So stand up and change it. And don't be afraid of the naysayers. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Do what you feel is right, for you will be criticized anyways. Trust your instincts. Pursue your vision. Even if no one else sees it, just start the journey. The others will follow. And stay ready. New levels will bring new devils. But the higher you climb, the stronger you'll get. Take pride in being a professional problem solver as you rise. Remind your team that every change you make is an effort to get better. You don't change for the sake of changing. Like Jim Rohn said, "Life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change." At the core behind every big change is a why, and that why is to get better.
So, friends, what this video is actually talking about, change is something which is inevitable, but growth is something which is optional. So, change is always going to be there. How do you actually, take this change as depends upon absolutely you. Now, he gave the example of Jim Rohn. He said life does not get better by change, a chance. It gets better by change. So change is something which we will have to focus on. Then he focused on take pride in being a professional problem solver as you rise in your life. And then he said that the journey of your life is so very important in order to make you a good human being, that you should be focusing on your own individuality rather than comparing yourself. So my question once again to you is, do you work to prove yourself or do you work to improve yourself? If you really work to prove yourself, you might be able to reach to your destiny. You might be able to get whatever you want to get in your life. But if you're actually working on your improvement, you may or may not get whatever you wish to get in your life. I'm talking about the materialistic thing. But what substantial you are going to get is a great version of yourself, somebody who is actually going to be highly acceptable in the society. My dear friends, let me tell you, how rich you are or how big you are may or may not matter to the people, but how humane and how supporting, how influencing, and how great you are to the people, that is going to matter always and always. So greatness does not mean you don't fail. Greatness means you fail but you never give up. So you will always have to focus on bringing change, in accepting the change with a very positive mindset. And you will have to focus on bringing a great balance between your family, social life, hobbies, professional life. And you will have to ensure that you give good amount of time to your family, good amount of time to your social life, good amount of time to your hobbies, good amount of time to your professional life. Then only you will be a great person, and that will help you changing your dasha rather than changing your disha. So to change your dasha, you will have to focus on changing your dasha. So it's not the color of the balloon, once again I'm saying, that takes it up, but it is the content in the balloon that takes it up. So it is always the choice which is there between birth to death. So you will have to always focus on the choice. Nobody is born as a great leader. They have had a choice of transforming themselves to be a great man, and that is where today where they are. So being a being an individual is a matter of birth, being a senior person is a matter of age, but being a gentle person is a matter of choice. That is what should you be focusing on. So it is all about mindset, and it is nothing but when we focus on my own individuality, I focus on myself, that is actually illness. But when we focus on others, when we focus on the development of our team, it is always going to be wellness. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you will have to focus on experience, but that experience, how it is bringing change in you, is more important. So you should not be projecting on your experience, rather you should be projecting on how much you have learned and how much great personality you have made yourself through that experience. That is going to be much more efficient and much more better and going to be acceptable. So every objective, every target, or even everything this life originate from is basically a thought. I told you that a small thought is the main requisite. It is the prerequisite for your own individuality, which you portray in front of others. A thought is something which is actually creating your own personality. A thought is something which is building your character. So if you think that you can't, you're right. But if you think you can't, again you are right. So when your hands doesn't work properly for long, you say you are handicapped. But what you will say to the person who is not, whose thoughts are not working? So this is a kind of small brief and summary which I'm trying to share with you, so that before I leave, I should be able to give you the complete gist of whatever I have shared. So continue to focus on the progress and not for the completion of the task. Power of compounding in life is very important, because this power will give you a reason to achieve the goal, and you will have to always focus on why. And I have always said that it is not the sheer size of the individual which matters. What matters is how that individual is able to create an impact. The difference is very loud and clear between mosquito and elephant. Elephant is, of course, very big in size, very strong animal, but mosquito can kill you with its small one bite. So 1 degree of change in life, if stretched for a longer duration of time, is sufficient enough to make you a great change, to bring a great change in your life. So the key to success is in life is go, fail, and then grow. So go, fail, and grow. That is something which is going to be there. So you will not have to resist on anything, because if you continue to resist anything, it will continue to persist. But when you step in, it will dissipates. So that is going to transfer your fear into fun. So you will have to bring the change not from outside. You will not have to wait for somebody else to come and bring the change. It is the change which should emerge from your within, that is from the inside. Yeah. So major question on the job is not what I'm being what I'm getting here. The major question is what I am becoming here. So I think I am able to provide you the complete gist of this complete presentation. And I believe that you must like this presentation. Please do comment and share this presentation with all your colleagues. And if you feel that this kind of presentations are actually helping you stepping up in your life, helping you discovering the new version of yourself, helping you to find out the right human in you, please do help me establishing my channel. Such kind of videos I will continue to make, and such kind of small topics I will continue to take, so that with such topics I am in a very short span of time, maybe 20-25 minutes, I am able to give you the complete summary of what I am trying to tell you. And along with this, the books part of it, which I have taken as my another way of making different kind of videos, is something wherein 400-500 pages of book I am able to transform into certain set of slides which I am sharing with you, and I am able to complete that complete book summary in 20-25 minutes. So please have a look at those as well. I've already made 10 to 15 such videos with the complete summary of all those great books, the world famous books, and I'm also in the process to make such kind of videos in the future as well. So if you have any kind of specific requirement in terms of this particular book I should be summarizing and put in my videos, please let me know, so that I'm able to work on that as well. It is not your learning which I'm trying to focus on. It is also my own individuality or individual learning, because I've just told you that always for your growth and development and for your own individuality, it is not anything, it is always the thought which will make you. So for me, I'm always trying to focus on a thought that how can I develop, and for that I need your help in order to let me know what best I can do. So with this, thank you very much. Have a wonderful, great day ahead, and take care of yourself.